Hello and welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be trying every chocolate block by Moser Roth, available at ALDI Supermarkets. Which one is best? Let's find out. Starting off with dark raspberry almond. Everything here is 125 grams. They're actually individually packaged inside. You get 5 bars per pack. For this one, fats 33.4%, sugars 47.1%, and sodium 10 milligrams. That's actually quite low, but the sugars is quite high. The raspberry in this one is well executed. It sort of breaks up the flavor a little bit, makes this dark chocolate block a little bit more pleasant to eat as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to start this off with a 6.5 out of 10. Up next, dark cranberry. Fats 27.7%. Sugars, 54.3%. That is one of the highest out of everything we've ever tested. And sodium, quite low, 30 milligrams. Okay, this is an interesting one. There seems to be a lot of nuts in here, which isn't mentioned on the front, but if you look at the back, it seems to contain some almonds, some cashews, and various others. Anyways, this is a little bit sour as far as I'm concerned. Not really a big fan of this, but this does make dark chocolate a little bit more interesting and more tolerable. So, a 6 out of 10. Madagascan vanilla. 43.2% fat, 45.5% sugars, and 160 milligrams of sodium. This is really going to depend on how sweet you like your chocolates. It's very creamy. It is very nice in terms of the vanilla flavor. I don't mind white chocolates, but this one is way too sweet. It's not an enjoyable sweet as far as I'm concerned. Really can't bring myself to give this more than a 4. Dark ginger lime. 27.7% fat, 55.1 grams of sugar. So that is one of the highest out of all of these, but it is extremely low on sodium at only 7 milligrams. Quite an interesting flavor. The lime is quite a standout. It certainly breaks up the dark chocolate flavor really well. I think it almost complements it. As far as scoring concerned, I'm going to give this one a 7. Dark orange and almond. 33.4% fats, 46.1% sugar, and 20 milligrams of sodium. Trace nuts in here. Dark orange and almond. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. This one is an improvement on top of this lime one. This is the flavor I'm more familiar with. Not sure where from, but I've definitely had a chocolate orange combo before. Gonna give this a 7.5. Dark roasted hazelnut. 37.8% fats, 42.9 grams of sugar, and less than 5 milligrams of sodium. So extremely low on salt. Really enjoyed this one. This one is probably another flavor that I'm quite familiar with. The hazelnut flavor is quite nice. The dark chocolate flavor is not offensive. In fact, they've actually blended the two quite well. If they can make dark chocolate taste that good, that deserves an 8. Dark mint. 34.4% fats, sugars. That is quite high, but sodium is quite low at less than 5 milligrams. Not sure about this dark mint one. It's a little bit too sweet, which isn't a good contrast with dark chocolate in my opinion. The mint flavor also isn't all that pleasant. It hasn't really been blended too well as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to give that 5. Milk chocolate, 38.1% fats, just over 50% sugars, and 70 milligrams of sodium. Was not disappointed by this one. It's an extremely nice flavor, very creamy, very milky. The chocolate flavor is also quite nice. Really, this is the kind of chocolate flavor that you grow up with. The only criticism, it's just a little bit too sweet, but as far as I'm concerned, this is probably the best out of the lot so far. It gets an 8.5 out of 10. Dark, 70% cocoa, 42.6 grams of fat. So this is getting up there in terms of fats. Sugars, 27.9 grams. That's actually a lot higher than I was expecting it. And sodium, very low, 7 milligrams. Now, just because it's 70% cocoa, and that means it's quite dark, doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. Very surprisingly, this is very high in fat, and it's still quite high in sugars. 70% cocoa. You can tell just how dark that is. This one really depends on you if you enjoy dark chocolates. This is, I guess, quite a mature flavor. Not something that I really enjoy too much. I can only give that a 5 out of 10. And lastly, we have the dark 85% cocoa. Wow, over 50% in terms of fat. Was not expecting that. A little bit lower in sugar, which is good, 13.8 grams. But sodium is now getting up there, 140 milligrams, which is quite high. 85%. Wow, that really is dark now. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Even darker than that one. So the 85% cocoa. Not a fan, unfortunately. This one, 4.5 out of 10. And conclusion time. Let's put all these chocolate bars into a table, which you can see here. None of these, unfortunately, are what you can call a healthy choice. All the scores are quite low. Value score is also nothing special. Really, I think if you just enjoy chocolates, you are going to enjoy the variety that this sort of offers. The only conclusion I can draw is milk chocolate is the one that I would go for. Followed closely by the dark roasted hazelnut, dark orange and almond, finest dark ginger lime. These two get an honorable mention as quite nice flavors as well. And also the dark cranberry, dark raspberry. These are okay. The ones that I'm really not a fan of, 70 and 85% cocoa. These two are probably a bit too bitter, not to everyone's taste. So take it or leave it with those ones. And this Madagascar vanilla, had high hopes for this. Sounds great on paper. Unfortunately, it is just too sweet. That is the lowest rank out of all 10 flavors that we have here. Here's another table of how they compare to all of the sweet snacks that we've tried so far. Naturally, because of the low value scores and the low ingredient scores, they're not going to rank too highly. So it just means there are better choices out there for an occasional snack. Just keep in mind to enjoy in moderation. Overall, I have enjoyed filming this episode. Thank you for watching. See you for the next one.